We back. We got to talk about these coaching changes. Man,
there's been a lot of movement going on in the league as far as the NBA coaches is concerned, man.
Mm-hmm.
They firing coaches in what it seems like to be left and right. We got Frank Vogel getting fired. We got JB Bickerstaff getting fired.
You keep going. I'm put Dumb and Dumber up real quick.
we got the possibility of Monty Williams being fired. We got to look at things again and question what's really valuable here. Because you got at least two coaches that's shown that they can win. Maybe not the whole title, but they can show that they can get teams to the playoffs, they can develop players, and they get fired.
Who are these coaches?
JB Bickerstaff and Frank Vogel.
Very unwarranted terminations.
You know what this makes me think of?
You can even say Darvin Ham was unwarranted.
Well, Darvin Ham. Yeah, well, Darvin Ham.
If we talking what you just said.
Who did he develop?
But if we looking at his tenure with LA, they wanted to. This the funny part about these cats. They wanted to sit there and go crazy about the in-play tournament.
Right.
He was the coach for that, and went to West Conference Finals. He was the coach for that. He really didn't have no failing season.
We can make the same case for Missouri. So
I'm just saying, like,
the reason why
at what point is what accolades doesn't matter?
So I guess you got to ask yourself the question: when is it obvious that the coach is riding the greatness of a few players on his team, then the players benefiting from the coaching?
Can we say this about Phil Jackson and Popovich?
When you count their rings, yes, but Phil Jackson, he did it with two different guys. He did it.
They're initially the same guy.
Be that as it may. There's a reason why Doug Collins didn't win the championship.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm just asking the question.
Right, and so players need coaches. Coaches need players. I mean, this is a marriage that has to work in union with each other. So when you talking about Darvin Ham, I don't know if I sent you this video or not, but it was during the timeout, and Darvin Ham was looking like he was trying to draw up the play, but he didn't know what to draw up, so he kept on drawing something and erasing it, and then drawing something else, and then he would erase it, and then he would look at the board again, where he had some notes written down in the corner, and he would draw something, then he would erase it.
They got a couple videos out like that.
Right.
I don't know if you necessarily seen it, but I seen something like that.
Right. And then you got a video out where LeBron was coaching the coaches in practice.
See, there's a point where, as a coach, yo, this is my team, bro. You the player. I'm the coach. And stay in your place. I'm gonna do my job. You do yours. Point blank. You don't tell me how to coach. I don't care how trash I am. You not finna tell me how to coach. That's what it is. Like, I mean, stay in your lane.
I don't care how trash I am.
Stay in your lane, dog. Like, you know, real talk. Stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just what that is. So,
but
folks gotta have backbones around here.
So
that's just like if you got a bad parent or something.
So
you gonna tell your parent how to parent?
Well,
you can't.
Those ain't the same. Those ain't the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Parents birth and raise kids from a baby to being an adult.
I'm just saying.
It's not the same. Like,
even if you had a bad supervisor at work.
Well, yeah, I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it, but like,
You can't go up to the supervisor like, yo, dog, you a terrible supervisor. You lose that battle. You supposed to.
You're supposed to, but then it depends on what you mean to the company. It really depends on what you mean to the company. Because people can let their pride get in the way on both sides here. People can let their pride get in the way and say, I'm wearing this title, so what I say goes. And you can let your best ace go with that attitude.
Okay, let me ask this question.
But I understand that this can work both ways.
Letting LeBron, we gonna say this because this is part of if this is really, I don't know if this truly happens. This is what people say. Letting LeBron call shots, quote unquote, or make roster moves, quote unquote, isn't the recipe for success. I think Chris Broussard said this. Every place where LeBron leaves, he leaves that place in ruins.
Whose fault is that, though?
That's what I'm saying. You stay in your lane. In the words of LeVar Ball, stay in your lane.
Well, hold up now. Let's ask this question here. When LeBron left Cleveland, would you say that Cleveland office did everything that they could to keep a good team with LeBron, with or without LeBron?
I'm not gonna say you false with that, but what I'm saying is this. It's a difference when you, like you just said, old Asian players versus young talents you can build upon.
Right.
Like, because LA, they had young talent they can build upon.
Right. But who was the one that pulled that trigger?
What's my man's name for LA?
Yeah.
The name at the top of my head. Magic Johnson, or was it the other guy?
Magic Johnson was the one that pulled that trigger.
What, for Lonzo and them?
Lonzo and them to get Anthony Davis over there.
Well, listen, let me tell you.
Now, let me ask you. Do you think Bron can come into the Lakers organization while Magic is in the office and tell Magic what to do?
I would like to think not, but I don't know how Magic... See, Magic seems like he don't play no games, though, honestly, but Magic don't stick around long enough either.
Well,
because Magic, remember, he coached for like 6 months, so I can't take this.
Well, Magic probably seen the difference between Jeannie Buss and her daddy.
Jim Buss?
Yeah. Because...
Well, okay, let me say this. Do you think they ran like a mom and pop shop? Word to Rob Park. They said that LA is being ran like a mom and pop shop.
How can you argue it? How can you argue it? Jeannie Buss, it's clear that she may have some basketball knowledge and insight on the business of the NBA.
Well, she should.
But does she have the insight on the game of basketball to where it's at a high enough level to where she can put something together to win with?
Isn't Rob Pelinka the one who makes the trades?
But who does he answer to?
But, okay, I'm going to say this very, like, I guess, is it controversial? I don't know.
Say it.
But the way I've never, listen, that looks suspect the way she was all like, you know, all over LeBron the way she was. That wasn't a very professional look.
Not at all.
So I can see LeBron telling her what to do. I can see that because
the way she
just the way that looked, huh?
Go ahead.
The way that looked, it looked like she's gonna do what she gotta do to appease LeBron. That's just off the visual of that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not saying that's what pop off, but it looks that way.
And once again, thank you LeBron for not embracing her the same way that she was all over you. Even though that probably got you in the doghouse for a night or two. I mean, we got video. The whole world got video evidence that
my wife seen that.
You did not embrace them. You did not. But in the same token, you did not get them off you.
Even if, like, I'm gonna be honest, if I didn't get up out that seat, I'd be getting questioned walking through the door. Cause like, you know what I'm saying? All my movements will be analyzed to the T.
Right. So, but anyway, yeah, that wasn't Jeannie's best moment. And you know, Jeannie, she has some questionable history because I don't know if I should say this on this platform.
She was dating Phil Jackson.
Well, I wasn't going to say Phil.
Oh, my bad.
I was going to go with
I only know about Phil.
Oh no, I heard that the former Piston was clapped.
Former Piston. Bill Laimbeer? Isaiah? Joe? Mahorn?
Who's a former Piston that played for the Lakers?
Rodman? Word? Yo, that's crazy. What?
So, once again, those are just, that's not proven evidence or anything like that.
Look here, man. Like, I would not be, listen, I'm not about, look,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't put nothing past a soul.
Because with Rodman's personality that came out, it kind of matches with the California.
Listen, I wouldn't put nothing past nobody, even with that LeBron stuff. I wouldn't put nothing past nobody.
So,
you know what I'm saying? Because the Lakers is a story franchise. LeBron should not be calling no shots in any type of form in that building.
But if
that should not happen.
You're right. In a general sense,
the cachet that's behind that, he need to fall in line.
You're right.
Not no LeBron coming through. This ain't the Cavs. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, are you kidding me? Like, this is not the Cavs.
You're right. But if it's about winning championships, if it's about,
they was doing that before he came along.
You're right. You're right. But in this current state of the Lakers, if it's about championships, and she out here not.
But does all LeBron selections win titles?
No.
He don't. He like to go off dudes he roll with.
Nobody's every selection wins titles.
Because his percentage in the listen, LeBron gets to the finals, but he has a higher percentage of losing them than winning.
And there's a reason for that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
there's a reason for that.
But I love LeBron, bro.
We can break that down too. We can do a segment on breaking down LeBron's career if you want. But there's a reason for that. That first finals appearance, we knew he wasn't going to win. We knew he wasn't going to win.
No, I'm not arguing that.
And then what we can really hold against LeBron in the finals was that Dallas loss.
But wasn't it technically Wade's team still? I'm giving him some rope there. Saying.
That's the way I view it, because when Dwayne Wade himself comes out in the interview and says, "We're going to go as far as you're going to take us," so he's essentially passing the torch. He's accepting the fact that he's no longer the best player on the team.
Because regardless of the fact of how they want to spin it, Dwayne Wade won a championship without Bron there. He had a ring beforehand. Whether you want to, Dwayne Wade is one of the greatest tools to play the game. Period.
Not gonna argue that.
So he won a championship long before he teamed up with Bron. It's not like he ain't have no jury beforehand. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not, listen. You gotta, like how Pat Riley handled Bron was how you do it.
Right.
Point blank period.
Which is Pat Riley comes from a stance of, I've done this before. I know how to do this. I know the formula that works. So you can't tell me nothing.
I mean, that's how the Lakers, even with Jenny, look, Jeannie Buss supposed to have that attitude. Like, my father is so-and-so. I'm in the, listen,
she can't live off of.
But even that, but look up in the rafters. Look at all them banners.
Right, but that's not her doing.
This is way before you existed, I existed. Like, yo, you don't come over here and call shots. This is not the spot for that.
You're right. But at that point in time, say she would have had that kind of mentality. And say she would have been going through with the business the way she did. If you LeBron, is you smart to leave or stay?
Let me ask you this. We're talking about what, like, leaving LA?
Yeah.
He should have stayed in Cleveland personally, but that's just my opinion.
He should have stayed in Miami.
Either or, when he could have stayed there. Or
going back to Cleveland They did the same thing to him that they did to him the first time.
No, I'm not arguing with that. Mm-hmm. But Cleveland, this is the thing with Bron, right? Like, the reason why Jordan is so viewed, like, it's something about staying with a team your whole career. Look at Dirk. Mm-hmm. He won that title with Dirk. He solidified. He got a logo. He got his fadeaway on the court. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dirk, Reggie, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
staying with one franchise.
There's nothing wrong with that. But Cleveland could be him. Like, that's it's nothing wrong with this. Is the thing, right? There's that Dirk championship is very valuable. Right. You know what I'm saying? That's a valuable championship.
Because,
you know what I'm saying?
Once again, okay, I'm gonna add this to that. Because if you look at the path to get there, the teams that he put out.
Yeah, Dirk, that was a tough road, dog.
The teams that Dirk put out, it wasn't just LeBron that he put out.
Kobe and all them.
Kobe got put out. Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, them got put out. I forgot who was the last team that got put out. But that was one of the coldest runs of a team. Once again, we said this about the Mavericks in the past. Rick Carlisle being the head coach, having a whole nother starting lineup coming off the bench.
Look, man, like, you gotta give them their credit. You gotta give them their credit at the end of the day. Like, that was one of the best runs I ever seen. So that championship he got,
that's one of
you can't. That's a he worked for that, and he got busy on the Heat too. In them finals, he got busy.
Might I add to that, the Heat made a mistake putting Chris Bosh on Dirk Nowitzki. They should have lived with Udonis Haslem. Udonis Haslem defended Dirk way better than what Chris Bosh did.
He still was busting his head too, though.
True, but he wasn't. It wasn't an all-you-can-eat buffet, however you want it kind of deal. It was, okay, if you gonna beat me, you gonna beat me only this way, but you're not gonna beat me both all this and that way. You gonna have to beat me just this way right here. So
I agree. Like, look, I don't care who's there. At the end of the day, but I'm gonna say this. I was gonna say this. I almost feel like it's not sexist, but I almost feel like because she a woman. Because let's say if Jim Buss had a son that was running that. Nah, that's not finna fly.
Well, yeah, I mean,
that's not finna fly.
But
that's not as a man, like, because men deal with women differently, just in all aspects. Period. You know what I'm saying? And women move off emotion and not logic. If there was a guy in there, it'd be all logic based, not emotional.
Well, I'm not gonna say that you're wrong there, but like that doesn't play a factor in this equation. But for Jeannie Buss,
because a man not about to be all laughing with LeBron head on his shoulders either.
No,
feel me? He gonna be, hey man,
you ain't gonna see that. But there is a such thing as not as being as smart as the guy that built it. You know, when you build something up in this life and you have to leave it behind to someone else because you pass away, there's no telling what the person that it gets left behind.
Well, I say that because of this. Because I'm a wrestling fan. Vince McMahon's father left him to WWF. Vince McMahon made the WWE, whatever. It's one of the biggest things ever.
Took it to
you know what I'm saying?
level.
Exactly. But,
I've seen that. I've seen
guess
that
what?
happen with regular everyday business.
But guess what it was a son.
Right.
Logic.
Right.
It's all logic behind it. You know what I'm saying? There's no emotional, I feel like this. Forget what you feel like, what should happen, not feeling what should. So I feel like if there was if Jim Buss had a son in that position, it wouldn't be this way. I really don't feel this way.
Well, first of all, to get back on topic here, if there was somebody making smart decisions in the office, they would have never hired Darvin Ham in the first place.
Or fired Vogel.
Or fired Frank Vogel. Like, there's some steps here that got skipped along the way. Because we talking about the coaches that got fired. The 3 coaches, hopefully 4. Because we hoping for 4.
Who's the 4th?
Hometown.
Oh, Monty, you gotta go.
Yeah, we hoping for 4. We hoping for 4. That's a crazy buyout too.
I do it.
that's a crazy buyout.
Man, I do it.
Man, look. But of the 3, I would say he deserves it.
Who, Monty?
No. Well, I mean, he does too. But of the 3 that got fired, I would say Ham deserves it.
Listen, I'm not the guy that's going to wave the Darvin Ham flag, but he did lose to the Nuggets.
Listen.
I mean,
look, let me tell you something.
Darvin Ham, did he not deserve at least another year?
No.
I mean, he got to the Western Conference, and so the in-season tournament meant nothing because they were celebrating that popping champagne, featured on ESPN, all that.
Yeah, because Bron is the ultimate teammate. Bron is the kind of guy that he's going to do stuff to help his team win. And so the whole point behind that was he was going to get those roster number 15, 13, 15, and 14 guys that never get no playing time, that this might be their biggest payday that they're going to ever get in their life. That was his motivation for doing that. He wanted to get them that check because he said it himself.
Bro, that wasn't Get all that.
He said it himself. But at the end of the day, can you say that the Lakers would be a better or a worse team without Darvin Ham as a head coach?
Will LeBron be trying to control everything? That's the question.
Who the coach is.
No, it just shouldn't depend nothing because he's not the coach.
Listen, at the end of the day, Darvin Ham did not deserve that job.
He didn't deserve to get fired either.
But he didn't deserve that job.
But he had it. So he, you know what I'm saying? Like, that. I mean, that's what I hear you. But whether he deserved it or not, he had some success.
What did he do that warranted him keeping the job another year?
Western Conference Finals and the in-season tournament.
Who was he? So, once again, would he have accomplished the same things without LeBron?
I asked you that about Phil Jackson and Popovich.
Yeah, but
same question.
Yeah, but those are guys that showed that they can do the job before they got those players. Popovich showed that he can be a good coach without Tim Duncan before he got.
Wasn't they raving about Darvin Ham before that when he was with the Bucks?
Who was?
They was talking, he's a great this and the third, you know what I'm saying?
The only thing that they was crediting Darvin Ham for was the development of Giannis. That's all that I heard.
Look here, man. Like, at the end of the day,
at the end of the day, Giannis still ain't got no skills.
He just said that the players need the coaches and the coaches need the players.
You're right.
He said that. At the end of the day, Darvin Ham had successful terms.
So
he had a successful term. He did not have a failed term.
So Monty needs to stay the head coach of Detroit.
No, he don't. Because he didn't want the job. That's my only point about Monty. It's not the fact that Monty is not a good coach.
But he been to the finals.
He did not want the job at Detroit. They had to offer him more money to take it. At that point, you don't hire him.
But he went to the finals.
No.
He went to the finals. He knows how to get there.
Let me break this down.
He knows how to get there.
Let me break this down. Because, we changed the name to F&S Network because we got other things. So, on the F&S Network, on the F&S Podcast, let me break this down. Monty Williams did not want the Detroit job. So, if you don't want something in the human aspect, folks feel a certain way, he not gonna try as hard versus if he wanted the job. I'd rather have somebody who wants the job. I don't care about what type of accolades you had beforehand. If you did not want my initial $50 million offer I gave you and you say no, I'm good then, dog. $50 million or something. They offered that man a lot of money to take the job initially and he said no. And they offered some more millions on it for him to take it. He didn't want the job.
Let me ask you a question. Okay.
This is a check for him. You know what I'm saying? What's up?
Okay. If somebody offered you $30 to swim across the ocean, would you do it?
No.
What if they offer you $30 million?
No.
You wouldn't do it?
Bro, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. I'm not gonna see the money. $30 million across the ocean, you're not gonna make it. You're not gonna make it.
Maybe across the ocean is not a good illustration. Maybe swimming across something that has some sort of danger involved in it, but you got a strong chance of making it. It all depends, right? But the money that you get
this is an individual based thing here. We talking about a team and all everybody. Like, this is the thing. I hear what you're saying.
A lot of that has to do with it.
I hear what you're saying 100%.
Because coming from Monty's perspective, I'm just playing devil's advocate here, all right? So, coming from Monty's perspective, this is one of the worst teams in the league.
No, they not.
Record-wise, this is coming from one of the worst teams in the league. Mm-hmm. Even though their roster may not say that they should be that, this is coming from one of the worst teams in the league.
Right.
And you want me to come coach this team and turn them into a winner? Mm-hmm. I'm not doing that for lunch money,
bro. What they initially offered him wasn't no lunch money.
I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But what's that movie that Chris Tucker made?
Money Talks.
Money Talks. So how bad do you really want me? Because I'm pretty sure, just play devil's advocate again. I'm pretty sure that Monty knows who else you interviewed. Monty knows who else you probably made an offer to. So if you really want me, you got to show me that you really want me more than the other guy.
It's playing games, man. Like, look. I'm just saying, what Josh is saying is facts. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying, two things can be right. If I'm in that office and if I offer you what I think, what I initially read that they or seen that they offered him initially, and you turn that down,
what's the taxes on
Michigan that? Taxes is wild. We know that
because you know
Michigan taxes can be nasty.
We seen breakdowns of players' contracts. For instance, Jalen Brunson's contract, because he plays for the state of New York. You could pretty much take the contract that he signed for, slice that directly in half, because that's how much taxes he got to pay. And then you add the fact that he got to pay his agent. So I'm slicing that down even a little bit more. So that $100 and something million contract that he signed, he's probably really only getting 40.
That ain't like cheese.
No, it's not. To us, we are everyday men.
Right.
We don't.
I would love $40 million, bro.
We don't rub the same shoulders that they do. We not in the same circles that they are. We don't have the same house, parking lot, car, whatever. Mm-hmm. We don't got the same stuff. We got to work 40 hours a week.
Right.
To come up with a mortgage.
Right.
Or rent. Whichever one you got to pay.
Right.
Whereas that 40 piece, he's in a different tax bracket.
No,
I
agree with you.
So how much of that played a part in Monty Williams saying, if you just up a little bit, then I'll come?
But look at the job he's done, bro.
I'm not mad at you for that.
Like the job, like his coaching. Look here, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and say, okay, if we had Rick Carlisle, we'd be in the playoffs. You see what Rick Carlisle doing with them Pacers? Do you see what if we had Rick Carlisle, ain't no telling what we would be if we had Rick Carlisle, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but Rick Carlisle wouldn't entertain Detroit.
Well, they let him go. They fired him. Of course he wouldn't. He was already here. And he was successful.
Right.
So, yeah, but with the dudes we had, listen, man, what frustrates me, because as a dude that knows basketball, we don't have a trash squad.
Right.
So, I mean, dog, like, just like you said, coaches need players. If we had Rick Carlisle was doing with that Pacers team, with that Pacers roster, with who's on that roster, with the length and athleticism and all that and the talent we have, there is absolutely no way we shouldn't have at least been in the play-in. I can't see that making sense. It don't even make sense. Monty don't want to coach there. You know what I'm saying? Period. To put it unless Monty was carried by players.
Look,
was Monty carried by players?
I'm not going to disagree with that possibility, because the one time that I really thought that Monty Williams was a good coach is when he was coaching New Orleans.
With Chris Paul and
no, Chris Paul wasn't there no more. Chris Paul had left. This is when he had Ben Gordon, and they was about to draft Anthony Davis.
Ben Gordon was over there?
Yeah, Ben Gordon was the
with the Hornets? I don't even remember that.
Yeah, Ben Gordon was the man for New Orleans before Anthony Davis got there.
Ben Gordon? I didn't even remember that.
Ben Gordon.
I remember he went to the Bulls. I remember we had him in Detroit for a little second.
No, am I saying the right name? Eric Gordon.
Oh, about to say
Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon. When you said that, I was like, oh snap! I said the wrong name. Eric Gordon. Clarification.
Well, Eric Gordon was solid though.
Clarification. Eric Gordon was the man for New Orleans when Monty was the head coach, and they was about to draft, or they drafted Anthony Davis. That was a time when I felt like Monty Williams was a good coach. Now, given Monty Williams that went through some things in life, lost his wife and all that other stuff.
That's terrible.
And I think that could play a role in some things.
I wouldn't doubt you there, because I couldn't imagine losing my wife. I don't want to think about that.
Right.
I don't.
And before they made the acquisition to get Chris Paul, during the bubble, Phoenix was one of the teams that they won every game during that leftover season of the bubble, because they only brought in the teams that had a chance to make the playoffs to the bubble to allow them to compete to possibly make the playoffs. The Phoenix Suns was one of those teams, and they won every game. They just happened to be far enough behind to where every team in front of them, they won enough games to where they stayed in front of them. So that was a time when I was looking at Monty Williams like, he might be a really good coach, and we just don't know it yet because we don't got the results to add to it. And then they make the acquisition to get Chris Paul, and you've seen how much that helped. So when they go to the finals with that team and they lose the way they did, it makes you wonder a little bit now, And then now with him with Detroit, it really makes you wonder. So
it makes you wonder: does Chris Paul make Monty Williams look good?
You're right.
Because Monty Williams was the coach of the Hornets when Chris Paul was there.
Right.
And then Monty Williams was the coach for the Suns when Chris Paul was there.
Right.
So,
what shows the value of having at least one high IQ player that actually gets some playing time.
Well, Chris Paul is people like, I think Stephen A. Smith says this all the time. Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guards to play ever. Right. So I don't disagree with that.
Who is that guy that could be, as you say, the coach on the floor? Who is that guy that could be that for Detroit? Does he even have that ability? Because Detroit didn't lose every game by a blowout fashion.
Well, there is no guy like. There's very few. I can only count on my hands as this is a coach, really.
Right.
So Detroit don't have that, but the Pacers don't either. Rick Carlisle is pulling all them strings, dog.
I'm not going to say that you're wrong that Rick Carlisle's pulling majority of them strings. But Halliburton plays the point guard position the right way.
Yeah, but look at how they lost today. They lost a very close game, and there was no Halliburton.
Yeah, but
Rick Carlisle's pulling them strings.
Was that more so because Boston played around?
I think Rick Carlisle was doing a good job coaching. I think Rick Carlisle was doing a good job.
He was doing a good job.
I think folks need to give Rick Carlisle
his flowers.
He's one of the greatest coaches, period.
Right.
This cat, him and Eric Spoelstra, them two cats, prove they can coach.
Right.
Okay, without, with like, they can squeeze all the juice out of a lemon.
Right.
They can squeeze all the juice out of a lemon. Rick Carlisle and Eric Spoelstra, them two dudes, I give them, them two of the greatest coaches I've seen coach.
Okay, so I guess to get back on topic, then the coaches that got fired.
Vogel didn't deserve it.
Vogel didn't deserve it. JB didn't deserve it. But
that was a surprise firing.
Wendy said something about that. Wendy said that was Donovan Mitchell's doing.
Yeah, I seen that on. But the crazy part is I never heard nothing about that. None throughout the year. They kept a good job of keeping that buried. But if this is a thing though, you don't even know if Donovan Mitchell is going to stay there.
Right.
And you fire Bickerstaff
in an effort to please him.
And you don't even know. This is in the hopes of keeping him.
Right. Which goes to what I think the root of this problem is. Players got too much power.
Way too much. That's why I'm not mad. I don't like Pat Riley doing things in the media, but I understand how Pat Riley moved though.
So with the players having so much power, because this is going back a couple of years to when, was it a couple of years or was it just 1 year? Nate McMillan getting did dirty.
Talking about the Hawks?
Yeah. Nate McMillan.
I didn't even know Trae Young. We said him and Trae Young had issues?
Had issues behind closed doors.
What I noticed is when the players really have to get coached and get called out for the things they do wrong, because that's what coaching is, they have an issue with that.
Then you had this year Giannis and them with AJ Griffin.
But AJ Griffin probably was actually coaching folks.
Well,
you see they was what they was 30 and 13.
They was number 2, number 1 seed in the
But he's coaching. So coaching means it's like coaching is what it is. It's coaching. I'm coaching you to. So therefore, anything you do wrong, I have to let you know. Yo, that's not what you do. You got to do it like this. Blah 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 blah. Right. These cats have egos and they don't want to be coached.
Right. So
coaching is there to make you better as a player and let you know what you're doing wrong. That's not saying you're not cold. You know what I'm saying? You could be cold and still make mistakes.
Right.
It's like Nas being a rapper and pick bad beats. You still cold as a lyricist, but you pick horrible beats. So you need a producer to come in with dope production to fit them vocals. You know what I'm saying? That's all that is.
Right. So at the end of the day, when it comes to this subject as a whole, players have too much power. And organizations need to grow some backbone.
They need to grow some other stuff. See, he being clean with it. Like, this is the thing. They need to grow some other stuff, because at the end of the day, if I'm writing the check, like, this is the thing, right? If I'm sitting there if I'm issuing the check here, and I'm not even on no power trip stuff, but at the end of the day, if I know you got a good coach, I know you got some cold players. Come on, dog. This is a job at the end of the day.
So, of the 3 coaches that recently got fired, only 2 of them didn't deserve it in my eyes.
If we going by the letter of the law here, Ham did a good job.
What did he do?
Once again, so the Western Conference Finals didn't happen?
No. What did he do?
Still was the coach.
Would they have made it to the Western Conference Finals with a different coach?
We don't know that.
Come on now.
We don't know that. I mean,
listen. Look.
Let me ask you this question.
My thoughts on Darvin Ham and on Joe Mazzulla. They didn't deserve these jobs. They should have been coaching the Hornets. They should have been coaching Washington.
So what you're saying, that it's not like they don't deserve to be coaches. They should be having starter coaching jobs.
Yeah, they need to have starter.
And I'm not disagreeing with that. Because this whole JJ Redick talk,
that's
crazy.
Wow. That's crazy.
Like, they saying he could be in their career. I do not think I'm going to tell you this. Any new coach should be coaching young talent, young guys to develop your own system. You should not coach veterans. Yes. And I don't know if I've seen an article. I'm hoping he can last. I'm hoping they don't let him go. Let him build his stuff. I won't be surprised if they let him go.
That's a trend.
I wouldn't be surprised if they end up letting him go anytime soon, because, they probably want to cut Scoot Henderson. I like Scoot. I think he have a high ceiling, but he had like a pretty rough first year, but he's an undersized guard too. So, but I wouldn't be surprised if they let him go, especially with the coaches that's available now. I wouldn't be surprised with a few firings to bring some. If they can guarantee a Vogel or a JB Bickerstaff, I wouldn't be surprised if.
Speaking of another coaching situation, this actually came out today. The Kings and Mike Brown, they kind of came to like a halt with their extension talks.
I thought that they was actually extending.
They was talking about extending him, but they came to like a point right now, at least, to where they're like, it's paused.
Why wouldn't they extend him? He did a good job. And he had injury issues he was dealing with all year.
Right, but I don't know why they wouldn't extend him, personally, because I don't think he's done anything to get necessarily fired.
They had injury issues.
They so. I told you about Mike Brown before, about my personal thoughts.
Well, you're not a fan of him.
I'm not the biggest fan of the way he's running the team, because it looks really great in the regular season. It looks really great in the regular season. So this kind of shows the differences in organizations.
What's his assistant? Like, this is the thing, right? I'm gonna say this. What you saying? That's why you need a complete strong coaching staff, not just one.
Right.
So who's his assistant?
I don't know who his assistants are. Let me look that up.
Because I think coaching staffs got to operate as a team too. Like we talk about Tibbs. Tibbs is cold on defense. You put him on any coaching staff, your defense is gonna be fire, and all you gotta do is worry about the offense. But maybe Mike Brown is not. He needs some extra little assist, especially in the playoffs. You probably need a little help, but he can get you through that regular season.
Speaking of, I don't know how many of you remember the Prigioni cat that used to play for
Pablo.
the Knicks.
He was one of the oldest rookies ever. I rocked with him.
Right. He's on the Timberwolves coaching staff.
I don't know how cold of a coach he is, though. I can't really say.
Okay,
You know what I'm saying?
So anyway, here's the Kings coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
The assistant head coach is Jordy Fernandez.
No clue who that is.
Then the other assistant coaches, Jay Triano.
Are you familiar with these names?
Nope. The only one that I'm familiar with. Oh, they got two names I'm familiar with: Doug Christie and Leandro Barbosa.
Yeah. We gonna bypass those names because they getting their feet wet in the coaching game. So, yeah, he don't have a very strong coaching staff, and that could be the issue. Yeah. You got to have a strong coaching staff because
to me, he hasn't done anything that would warrant him getting replaced. Now,
but if Vogel tweaks, now if Vogel's available, would you replace him with Vogel or Bickerstaff? If they're interested,
because if they was to get Vogel would change everything that you got going on now. Vogel would he run the offense with DeMontis having the ball as much as he does?
Should he?
Well, once again,
should DeMontis have the ball that much?
Well, once again, going back to this day and age of the NBA, DeMontis Sabonis is highly effective with the ball in his hand.
DeMontis should not have the ball more than Fox.
No, he shouldn't. But he does, and they were highly effective with this. They haven't won much in the playoffs doing this.
Right, exactly. He should not have the ball more than Fox. There's no way he should have the ball more than Fox.
Which essentially goes back to they should have kept Halliburton.
Well, I said that.
Right.
I said they should have them two. You would do better with Halliburton and Fox in your backcourt than having DeMontis. You can replace DeMontis if you have Halliburton and Fox. You can do without DeMontis because you got a deadly backcourt there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we in agreement there.
Mm-hmm.
But let's talk about.
But you said you like that move. But it's cool though.
No, it was a winning move for both teams because Halliburton took the Pacers to a level that DeMontis wasn't going to take them to.
Right, so imagine if he stayed with Sacramento.
You're right. But getting DeMontis wasn't a loss either.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, you know.
Now, this comes down to one, the other guys that they have on their roster. Because they got Harrison Barnes, they had Malik Monk. We'll see if he resigns.
I would see Harrison Barnes. I'm not big on Harrison Barnes.
Me neither. I'm not big on Harrison Barnes.
I would flip him and see if I can get like.
They got Red Velvet over there.
Yeah. Well, he was hurt, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt. Malik Monk got hurt, and They were both not available for the biggest games of the season.
That hurt them.
So that hurt them a lot.
But I would try to get rid of Harrison Barnes and try to get some. Like if I was the Kings, I would have tried to get PJ Washington or something in place of Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes never really been, to me,
cold.
He never really been like that. I remember him for the Warriors, but he wasn't.
He's like, so I know some people that blame Harrison Barnes for that loss to the Cavs in the finals because Harrison Barnes missed like 6 straight open shots.
I wouldn't be. I mean, it's understandable for them to say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
So you know, it's look. At the end of the day, Mike Brown doesn't deserve to get fired. He deserves.
No, he's Mike Brown. Everybody's not Phil Jack. Well, listen, I still like Phil Jackson and Pop had the greatest of the great. So we never know. But okay, so everybody's not in those classes of coaches.
So let's talk about the coaches that did get fired.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go with JB.
He didn't. That threw me off.
He didn't deserve to get fired.
I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what was going on.
You talking about breaking news? That was breaking news.
Yeah, but firing somebody for Donovan Mitchell sound wild.
This is crazy. So
for Donovan Mitchell, really? Word?
Right. Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell.
Now, given he was handling his business in this playoffs, I'll give him his credit there.
That's fine, but he not. Listen, Donovan Mitchell.
He is not somebody that I'm gonna be like.
I don't think you win with Donovan Mitchell as your one guy for a title. You don't.
No.
He's a two guy. He's a second tier star. They tried to compare him to Dwayne Wade. He's no Wade. They called him Dwayne Wade 2.0. I remember that clearly.
Right.
He's no Dwayne Wade 2.0.
So, Donovan Mitchell, if it is true that he was behind that's very low on his part.
But then the Cavs isn't that wise either.
Right. Which, look, given this is the same team that lost LeBron twice. Think about that for a second. That's like.
Well, I'm gonna say this. We're gonna keep this clean, but from what I understood and read, this is all alleged. The things that happened with LeBron, I understand why he left. And that's past the letter. We're not talking about that whole statement. The things that supposedly happened, I wouldn't want nothing to do with that either. So I'm gonna give that one a pass.
Right.
Because I think if any one of us was in that situation, we wouldn't stay there.
Well, this is why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Now the second time, I feel like LeBron went. He went there in spite. So this is a unique situation. So
he didn't truly want to go back and deal with the people in the office again.
Right.
But he felt personal obligations.
Right. To the people of Cleveland, since he was there and he won a ring and left.
Right.
So I don't think he wanted to go back necessarily. He wanted to bring a title to Cleveland because I don't think Cleveland have a championship. They so that's a historical move. So I understand that move when he went to LA. I can't knock that. You know what I'm saying? I can't knock that. But the reason, the way he left, and understand the situation of why he left, allegedly, I can't fault him for that. I would never fault him for that.
Yeah, I'll never fault him for that neither. And so there are certain things that won't apply to him that we reward other players for.
Right.
That technically don't even deserve the reward.
Right.
Because all this loyalty stuff to one franchise. First of all, let's not forget that Kobe wanted out of the Lakers.
Well, he almost got traded to the Pistons and the Bulls.
He wanted out.
Which pissed me off when I found out about the Pistons.
He wanted out.
Detroit with the Pistons? Listen, Kobe with the Pistons?
Kobe wanted out. And
we would have embraced Kobe.
This
like
is
Detroit.
The difference between certain organizations. Because certain organizations bow down to the superstar player.
Kobe was like 2 seconds from getting traded to the. You know what stopped that Bulls trade? Luol Deng.
Right, yeah.
He wanted Luol. Dog, how would you feel? Do you think Kobe would have got a chip in the house of Jordan?
Who was the team that was there at that time?
I think it was Kirk Heinrich. I don't know if he was part of the trade, but I'm gonna say Kirk Heinrich. You would have had Kobe, Luol. No, Ben Gordon was part of that trade. I know that.
No, he wouldn't have won. No, he wouldn't have won. No. He wouldn't have won. He wouldn't have won. Not with that roster.
Kirk, Kobe.
The first two names that came to your mind in that era The first two names that came to your mind was just average role players.
We in the East.
The first two names that came to your mind.
People like Pascal Siakam, right? But I think Luol Deng probably was better than him.
The first two names that came to your mind.
You don't think they would have filled out that roster?
I would hope that they would.
All right, then. I'm just saying.
I would hope they would.
Are you saying Kirk Heinrich is trash?
The first two names that came to your mind is average role players in that era. Let me ask you a question. Average role players.
Hold on. Can I say something? Let me ask you a question. Now, Sebastian Telfair played with these dudes. He said Kirk Heinrich is cold. Are you going to disregard what he said?
Who was Sebastian Telfair?
Was Sebastian Telfair not touted highly?
Who? Was Adam Morrison not touted highly?
I think Sebastian Telfair is better than Adam Morrison, bro.
Adam Morrison was getting called.
This is discussion for another day.
Adam Morrison was getting called Larry Bird.
We all know that ain't facts, but they call Luka Larry Bird. So what? They call every guy with white skin Larry Bird. What that mean? You know what I'm saying? What does that mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only guy they can compare him with.
Kwame Brown.
Kwame Brown what?
Who was
they comparing him with?
No, I'm not saying that they were comparing him, but this was the number one overall.
But listen, okay, just like Scott Brittany said to some cats, I'm close to mine than you.
That's fine.
They playing with these dudes. So if Sebastian Telfair, who put on the NBA jersey, play against these dudes, play against the highest level basketball players, if he's saying that Kirk Heinrich or Luke Rittenauer and them is cold, I would like to agree. I would like to believe the dude who played against them.
That's fine, but at the end of the day, you can say what you want to say, you can feel how you want to feel. Do they have the resume to back that up?
I'm asking the question, but as a role player, Kirk Heinrich, like you say, role player, right?
Yes, he's
okay.
An
So
role
I'm not
player.
saying Kirk Heinrich will be the number 3 dude, but as a one, he didn't play the one bad. If you got Kobe with you, Luol is a nice sidekick to have with you. Luol wasn't trash.
No, Luol wasn't trash.
And then feel that out.
But at the end of the day here, Kobe didn't win a ring without another All-Star paired with him.
I'm not saying you're not wrong there, but I'm just saying that's the skeleton of the situation. That's not it didn't even move.
And there ain't no triangle offense over there. There ain't no triangle offense over there. So
who's the coach?
At that point in time, who was the coach? That's something I have to look up because I don't know that off the top of my head.
I don't know, but either way it goes, he was almost there and he was almost in Detroit. I would have loved to have Kobe in Detroit. Okay,
anyway.
There's all these ifs and what ifs in Detroit. Carmelo, Kobe.
Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, JB Bickerstaff did not deserve to get fired.
No, but that's wild for Donovan Mitchell, bro.
Frank Vogel did not deserve to get fired.
He didn't even have a complete roster. He didn't even have a complete. Everybody for the Suns, everybody played literally out of position. Everybody. You had Devin Booker playing the 1. The 1?
And then they did not have us, like, they didn't have, like, a real team.
But that's true, but what I'm saying is, dog, first of all, you had Devin Booker is the furthest thing from a 1 you gonna get. Then you had Bradley Beal. You had a lesser version of Devin Booker, right? The same exact dude. So you got that as your 1 and 2. Then you had Kevin Durant playing the 4. Bro, that was all messed up. You know what I'm saying?
Phoenix organization got some things that they need to figure out.
They went to the finals. They should have kept that team and made minor tweaks.
Exactly.
You went to the finals with
them.
them.
Who was the coach of them?
Your boy Monty. But Chris Paul was there.
You're right.
Monty is only successful with Chris Paul. He's only successful with him. That's it. I've not seen. If you could tell me another time he was successful without Chris Paul, please tell me. You said Ben Gordon and
Aaron Gordon.
Aaron Gordon and was Chandler still there?
Anthony Davis. I believe Tyson Chandler was.
But how far they go?
Probably was like first round exit if they made it that far. But
right. So is that successful?
For that team, yeah.
But when he had Chris Paul, David West, Tyson Chandler, which it sounds to me like the real brains behind that was Chris Paul.
Look, we ain't gonna doubt that. We ain't gonna play these games. Look, Chris Paul is a leader. Now, does he have some dirt behind his leadership?
Don't all the leaders have dirt behind their leadership? All of them, every last one of them.
Well, I'm talking about like dirty tactics on the court.
They all have dirty tactics.
Right. So I'm just saying here that okay, so who's the greatest coaches that you think are in the history of this league?
Well, you gotta really like kind of
dive in,
go back. But I'm gonna say with the less talent, from what I've seen with my own two eyes, without the greatest players, I gotta put Rick Carlisle on that. I mean, you gotta put Rick Carlisle. Spoelstra, gonna not put him in there. What about Donnie Nelson?
Who did he win with?
Remember that Warriors team?
Yeah,
that AFC?
Yeah, but they
was getting busy.
Yeah, but they didn't win nothing. They just beat them.
Who was coaching that Knicks team that went to the finals? I mean, it was the AFC with Larry Johnson and Sprewell in there.
Wasn't that Van Gundy?
Was it? I don't know, but
was that Van Gundy? I think
I'm gonna say in my era. Well, Larry Brown. What about him?
Larry Brown. Philly, a championship with Detroit.
He didn't have the greatest players like ever, like, and then with an undersized Allen Iverson, and then everybody like to call the Philly 76ers bums who had Dikembe Mutombo, a Hall of Fame 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. They call him a bum.
I ain't calling him a bum. He just
people call him a bum, bro.
Because he didn't contribute nothing on the offense.
He's better than Rudy Gobert, that guy. You know what I mean? But Dikembe Mutombo's an all-time great.
We unanimously in agreement.
Dikembe Mutombo's an all-time great, man. But either way it goes, Larry Brown. I'm trying to eliminate the guys who have like who you want to call quote-unquote goats. So, I mean, because saying Popovich and Phil Jackson be easy, but look at their rosters.
Well, look,
the guys I've seen.
To Phil's credit, he won with something that other coaches lost with.
What you talking about?
Doug Collins. Because Doug Collins came in saying we need to get the ball in Jordan's hands, and he was
but who was on that roster?
Well, he had Pippen there too.
With Doug Collins?
Yeah, Pippen was there.
Was Rodman there?
Rodman wasn't there yet. Rodman was part of the second three.
Luke Longley and them, Bill Winnington and them. Listen, mind you, see, you.
Horace Grant was. I think he was there.
You guys that don't know basketball, well, I know a lot of y'all. Like, who's Bill Winnington? See, you need guys like Bill Winnington on your team. Luke Longley's on your team. You know what I'm saying? They serve a purpose. Trust and believe that.
Well, look. I'm going to tell you something right now.
Bill Cartwrights.
Yeah.
The B.J. Armstrongs.
Yeah, and my man.
Randy Browns. Those guys. You need them.
You ain't even mentioned my man, Craig Hodges.
Oh, Hodges was cold. He can.
Doesn't he still hold the record for most consecutive threes made?
Craig Hodges can shoot.
So, this is the thing. people need to understand that Bulls run, I could care less what the Last Dance said. That general manager was doing his job.
Exactly.
At an elite level. He won championships and said, we still need to do something to this roster.
I mean, you just like, you see how Ant is exhausted and just, if he had a Craig Hodges with him, a Scotty with him, a BJ Armstrong with him, we wouldn't have these problems. And I say that because that's the comparison y'all make.
Well, we need to fall back from that a little bit.
I've been said that, but I'm a hater. If you know what I'm saying?
But given, we seen Jordan get put out when his dudes didn't show up neither. So I know people like to act like Jordan is the answer to all questions. So I'm gonna just say this. And this is what, his 4th year in the league? Where was Jordan at his 4th year in the league? Was he still getting eliminated in the first round?
I don't know. Was this when the time when Larry Bird called him God, or was that after?
I have to look at that again. Either way, I don't recall Jordan going to the conference finals his 4th year.
No, Ant-Man official. I just don't like the comparison.
So look, listen.
The only person comparable to Michael Jordan is the guy who stole all his moves.
Right.
Kobe.
He's mixed with a little bit of Michael.
Is he? Really? Or is he just Anthony Edwards?
He's mixed with a little bit of him. And when I say mixed with a little bit of him, I mean like the game style, the mid-range style, and like how he can use the post game and in that mid-range to be effective on offense. Now, to say that he's Jordan completely, well, he came in with a different game. Because Jordan didn't come in being able to stretch it on the floor. Jordan came in just being the high riser. Jordan came in being the high riser. Jordan came in, for that era, it was a good ball handle, but he wasn't crossing nobody over.
Well, Isaiah Thomas said it best. The Jordan rules, all it was making Jordan go left.
So, we talking about Jaylen Brown now.
Jaylen Brown is no Mike.
But he was the guy that...
And I'm not no big Mike guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm just saying, like, you know, Jaylen Brown...
Once again, and then this is the other thing that I have for that. And right now, he is he's a one of a kind in this league when it comes to mentality.
And which is pretty much crazy, because the thing is, with the mentality, I was about to go into that. Mentality kind of make you play past whatever your abilities is.
Right.
Due to belief. So you can be like, if Kyrie didn't have the mentality he had, he wouldn't be who he is.
That's the other thing.
So as talented and skilled as Kyrie Irving is, he has the mentality and confidence to match it. You have to have confidence, and the mentality is just as important. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other thing too. There was no Kyrie Irving like player that existed in that era. There was no.
What they say, they'll be trying to say he doing witchcraft,
right,
with the ball.
So listen, look, and this is not a knock against the 90s. But the two guard position was kind of dry when you're talking about elite, all-time level players at that spot. When you think about the 90s, you think about big men.
He said Jordan overrated.
I didn't say Jordan was overrated.
He basically saying that.
his competition was not as good.
Mind you, he's told me this many times.
Yes.
He feel like Michael Jordan is overrated. He's just not saying it on the airwaves.
I'm not going to say that Michael Jordan is overrated. I'm going to say, once again, people like to think Michael Jordan is the answer to all questions.
Okay, let me ask you this.
If you was to rank the top guards in this position, who is you starting with?
You know, I don't know, because you know what I'm thinking? Like, the 2-guard position, I always go straight to the 2000s. With that, I don't even go to the 90s.
Okay.
So
that's Jordan. That eliminates Jordan from having to deal
no, because
with
Kobe. So pretty much all you gotta do is replace Kobe with Jordan.
Yeah,
in the 2000s, they play the same, bro. The exact same.
No, but if we gonna talk about Jordan's validity and his status, we need to talk about who his competition was at his.
I think it was only like Clyde,
which is once again
when Joe D was locking them up.
Okay, so I'm talking about, to be more specific.
Then he had Reggie to deal with, but Reggie wasn't a defender. But he had some issues with him too.
Once again,
was John Starks a 2?
I thought John Starks
was he a 2?
1 mixed with 2.
What was Kevin Johnson? Was he strictly a 1 or was he like tweening?
But listen.
That left Shrimp, he was a 3, wasn't he? Who's my man's who got off on the white guy who was busting his head that one game? Rex Chapman, he was cold, dog.
He plays like a 3, so I can't say that he was a 2. Mm-hmm. But
Allen Houston was a 2, wasn't he? But that was probably like the late 90s. My bad.
Yeah. Because they made it to the finals in the early 2000s. Yeah. That team. My point is this: when you look at the top 2s in the history of this game,
they all from the 2000s, to be honest.
So, guys that Jordan didn't have to really like guard in his heyday. And then you look at the rule changes. That played a part in this equation.
Let me give Jordan some rope a little bit. When he played for the Wizards, did he not clip a couple cats with a 40-piece against those guys?
Did he win?
We all said the Wizards wasn't laying like that. But
they made an effort, though.
But Jordan, he did not play bad.
No, he didn't play
bad. At an older age, he didn't play bad.
No, he did, because the game was still somewhat in that half court.
So because I always felt like Jordan was a little bit underrated for the Wizards. Underrated, I'm not saying like
if you go by if you go by the stat sheet and you just read, oh, he had a 40 point night here.
No, I watched it. I did. Like, that's not watched it a lot. Jordan, those dudes for the Wizards wasn't what's up. Like, I'm being Jahidi White and them. You know what I'm saying?
First team. Now, they made an effort to get to the playoffs.
Well, stacking them. This the problem.
But they still didn't get to the playoffs.
Well, this is the problem, and I felt like this because Jordan still had a bit of an ego because Kwame Brown talks about this. Look, Stackhouse should have been the number 1 option at that time. Jordan should not have been number 1. But due to politics, Stackhouse was the number 1. And I think Stackhouse alluded to this too.
Well, and once again, when you praise a certain player and you do sideline acts of worship to this guy, there's nothing wrong with admitting that he's a human being too.
I'm not with the worship. I'm not with that. You know what I'm saying?
A whole lot of people do, and they will point to certain things, and it's like, okay, yes, I hear what you're saying, and I'm not saying that you're wrong in his accomplishments, because nobody can take away anybody's accomplishments.
Right.
But when you want to start talking about errors, and you want to start talking about toughness of errors, the 90s had 6 expansion teams.
Well, the real ballers talk about that. And on top of this, people don't like to mention this, but there's a clip that goes around where they showed where Michael Jordan sent Scottie on Kobe. Like, yo, go guard him. You know what I'm saying? But
more than one of them.
And that goes to talk about the Ant situation, because he don't got nobody. He be like, hey, man, go guard Kyrie, please. You know what I'm saying? I can't deal with that right now. You know what what I'm saying? Because I'm trying to do this. You know what I mean? Right. That's what a team is for. So if Jordan played against the likes of Tracy McGrady, I don't think Jordan is stopping no T-Mac. I don't care. There's some dudes you just can't stop. I don't care what type of attitude and nastiness you got. T-Mac was too talented.
That's the point that I'm making. There was no other two guard in that era that fit that description. Jordan was the only one.
Let me ask you a question. Is T-Mac compared to MJ to you?
T-Mac, to me?
Yes.
Which version of Jordan?
No, I'm asking, like, if we playing this thing with the eras, like, so if we going into the 2000s with a sweet spot, and if we had a 96 or whatever Jordan in that era, are you taking a prime T-Mac over Michael Jordan?
It depends on if I got a point guard or not. Because Tracy McGrady, one of his skills that he brought to the table was he can run offense. Jordan doesn't bring that to the table, really. Scottie Pippen was running the offense.
Scotty's underrated.
So
Phil Jackson himself said he's a.
If I just need a guy to go out there and be my scoring machine, I'm gonna pick Jordan.
But I'm asking you, are you gonna take? I ain't talking about no point guard or nothing. I'm talking about if you need a two.
If I need a two guard, then I'm gonna take Michael Jordan.
Taking MJ over him. How about Kobe?
If I need a two guard, in that situation, I might take Kobe, because Kobe came in with a better jump shot than Jordan did.
Allen Iverson.
Well, now we're talking size difference.
So
Iverson is
still went to the final. Iverson still got busy.
Iverson is my favorite two guard of all time. But if that's the only hole that I got to fill, I'm gonna get the guy that gives me a little bit more size.
D Wade. Vince. So Vince still. So what he's saying is Jordan will still be effective in the 2000s.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Jordan would still be effective in the 2000s.
Championship caliber effective is what I'm really saying here.
Right. But I'm also saying that this, however many defensive player of the year awards.
Well, he's overrated on defense in my eyes.
Those things wouldn't exist.
He's overrated. Listen, when I look at defenders, I'm very, I guess, strict when it comes to defense. And I don't reward defense off just steals and blocks. I'm all about actually shutting down a guy. Literally shutting him down, like on some, he can't move, he can't get to his spots. Because you could always time a block shot. To me, that's why when a good coach would never will tell a player, don't worry about that block shot, just timed it, no big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, or somebody stole it, it's just a time, no big deal. That don't mean he could stop you, he just timed the steal. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's shutting you down to where you can't get to your spots and can't move, that's defense. Steals, block shots, whatever. I've never seen Jordan shut somebody down. Just straight shut somebody down where they can't do nothing.
Well, I mean, that Last Dance documentary will make people think otherwise. Because when they was emphasizing Jordan's defense, they were showing him taking the ball away from certain
time and steals? Well, you talking about time and steals?
No, it wasn't just time and steals. It was like he's in front of the guy and he just takes the ball.
How often is this?
I remember 2 clips at least, but this is the thing. Who are the guys that he stole the ball from in those clips?
Right, and then on top of that, when you got to do like Rex Chapman talking reckless and then busting your head a little bit, like, I don't want to hear that. And then on top of that, listen, Michael Jordan was, I'm not going to say he wasn't good at defense, but, you know, whenever somebody is praised, Listen,
look. Jordan was the very first heavily marketable player that this league ever saw. So
pretty much.
So,
and he's still marketed now.
In order to maximize the dollar amount that they can make off of Jordan's name, we need to keep this guy protected and praised, and we need to keep him valuable. Because the last thing that we want to see is that there's somebody that threatens Michael Jordan's heir.
Well, to me, Michael Jordan is not the best two guard ever.
So who's the best two?
I don't know, but I'm looking at guys like.
How you don't know, but you gonna say that?
I don't think he not. But I think he's the most popular player. But if I'm looking at skill wise, you look at the dude like Tracy McGrady, no injuries, dog. Like this cat was nice. Then you look at a guy like D Wade, 6'3". He weighed about as much as Kobe and Jordan did. He won a championship his second year. D Wade was nice, man.
That was in 2006.
It was in 2006 he won championship?
I believe that was 06.
He came in 2000.
He came in, what was that?
Like his second or third year he won a championship.
It was early in his career.
It was very early.
But I have my own thoughts about that championship, but I'm gonna let you go ahead, Rob.
What you mean? Because he had Twine, Jason Williamson in them? Jason Williams and all them, Shaq.
That squad was fully loaded.
But hold on, because as a Piston fan, I remember Dwayne Wade killing us single-handedly, bro. Single-handedly.
With those guys there?
Dwayne Wade was killing us single-handedly, dog.
But were those other guys there?
They wasn't doing nothing but him.
It doesn't matter. Were
he
they
was
there?
Killing. It was driving me up the wall.
But were they there?
That's cool. But okay, look.
Were they there?
Yes, but okay.
It doesn't matter.
Listen.
Look.
Hold on.
Look.
Hold on a second.
If there's a lion sitting in the corner, it don't matter if he growling and getting ready to fight.
So, what would you say Gary Payton was at that time?
He was solid enough to contribute to a championship team.
And then Twine Walker.
Oh, I remember Antoine Walker.
Because you was talking about old dudes here. All old dudes.
Right.
So, Twine Walker.
Right.
Older guy.
Right.
Way past the prime. Shaq. Past the prime.
Past the prime, but he was still one of
Posey over there?
James Posey was over there.
What do you think about James Posey?
I love James Posey.
Oh, you like? Okay, cool.
I love James Posey.
You know, Jason Williams my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Jason Williams. That was the backup.
But, you know, Jason Williams my dude. You know
that was
what
a
I'm
backup point guard. Then you had a young Udonis Haslem over there.
Udonis Haslem never been cold to me, but that's cool, though.
Look.
He never been cold.
Of the day,
even with the braids. You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, Udonis Haslem bring the hustle. He bring that consistent 15-footer shot. He brings heavy.
So who'd you rather have, Draymond Green or Udonis?
Well, for me, I'd rather have Udonis.
Oh my gosh. He said he'd rather have Udonis over Draymond Green?
Listen, look. Listen, look. I don't need my power forward to facilitate the offense.
You think Udonis colder than Draymond?
For offense, yeah.
Oh.
What scoring threat is Draymond Green?
What scoring threat is Udonis?
You don't know about that 15
little side, Draymond can hit a three. That little straight.
How many shots he need to make one?
Wasn't he popping off in the finals? That brother was popping off in the finals.
How many shots does Draymond Green need to make one? That's a simple question. Very simple question.
You can ask that about Udonis, dog.
Hold on. If Udonis was given a 15-footer and your life was on the line, and Draymond Green was given a 15-footer and your life was on the line, who do you think has a higher chance of making that shot?
I'm not confident either one of my life on the line. I'm not confident in either one.
Well, once
Udonis
again,
was alright.
This is where Google exists, YouTube exists. We can educate ourselves on who these guys are.
Listen, man, like he likes to, for whatever reason, he'd like to discredit that D Wade championship with the Heat.
No, I did not discredit it.
And I don't even like the Heat.
No, I did not discredit it. All I said was you plug any one of those other superstars that existed in that era on that team, and I think you get the same results. You put T-Mac on that team, I think you get the same results. You put Allen Iverson on that team, I think you get the same results.
So, you saying that Allen Iverson is better than Dwayne Wade?
In my mind, yes. Could Dwayne Wade have
This brother said Allen Iverson is better than Dwayne Wade.
Could Allen Iverson have not won that championship? Could Dwayne Wade have taken that Sixers team, even with the Dikembe Mutombo? Could he have taken them to the
finals? Hold on. Dwayne Wade kind of does everything better than Allen Iverson except dribble.
But yet,
he shoots the mid-range better.
But yet,
he drives better.
But
he plays defense better.
But yet, and still, he had to be surrounded.
Was Magic not surrounded? Was Jordan not surrounded?
We not talking about
Was
Magic.
Kobe not surrounded?
We talking about.
You just said if T-Mac had Grant Hill and Tim Duncan, y'all would have won a championship. You said that. You was talking about him being surrounded.
I believe we would have. Now, having two cold teammates does not equal surrounded. That just means you got two cold teammates.
Tim Duncan and Grant Hill.
That don't mean you. Well, first of all, Grant Hill was on crutches, so he was not the same Grant Hill that he was in Detroit.
Was Grant Hill not cold in Phoenix?
He was role player cold in Phoenix.
It's levels to this. You do know it's levels to this. That's why Kobe and Shaq was winning with those role players. Because it's levels to this.
Exactly.
So if you had Grant Hill and Tim Duncan with Tracy McGrady, that's not surrounded?
No, it's not surrounded.
Because D Wade was rolling with old dudes.
Okay, but how many plays did Antoine Walker make for them? How many plays did James Posey make for them?
Man. You got some experience.
How many plays did Udonis Haslem make for them? How many plays did Jason Williams make for them? How many plays did Gary Payton make for them?
It's a 5-man game.
Oh, it is a 5-man game.
Exactly. So why you saying surrounded?
You said surrounded when you said just Tim Duncan and Grant Hill. Last time I checked, that's only 3 players when you add Tracy McGrady to that. So who's the other 2?
Who was they one? Was it Terrell Brandon?
No.
I keep getting it. Who's their point guard, dog? So I keep thinking of Terrell Brandon. I don't know
why. We had a mix. We had Daryl Armstrong.
I always get them mixed up. Daryl Armstrong trash to you? He wouldn't have been good with them?
Man, look. I don't know what.
Please don't tell me Daryl Armstrong's trash.
No, he wasn't trash. You just couldn't look to him to score.
But with those guys, you couldn't dish it to him for an open shot? I mean, because if you had...
At that point in time, what do I need him for? Anybody can do that.
But look, if you had Grant... Didn't Michael Jordan pass to Steve Kerr? Didn't Kobe pass to Fisher?
So who was the shooter?
Huh?
Mike Miller was gone.
If you wide open, you should make a shot.
So who is the shooter?
Huh?
That's my question. Who is the guy that whenever Tracy would drive and he would kick it to, who's the shooter? Because that Orlando team is trash.
Daryl Armstrong could shoot if he's open, bro. Daryl Armstrong wasn't garbage.
He was not the shooter.
I'm saying
he was not a shooter.
Open. Derek Fisher wasn't no shooter, but he hit timely threes.
Derek Fisher was a better shooter than Daryl Armstrong.
Bro, look. Derek Fisher, I'm not throwing nothing to Derek Fisher and relying on him for nothing. You know what I'm saying?
But yet and still, this dude made some clutch shots to get the Lakers.
That point 3-4 shot was the luckiest shot I ever seen ever. It went in. You know what I'm saying? It went in. I see them make a shot for the Thunder, but mind you, it was one shot. Like, it counted.
How many shots did he make for the Lakers when it was him and Kobe and Paul Gasol?
Huh?
You don't remember this?
I do remember this, but it's not like you was relying on him for the whole game. That's what I'm saying.
No.
Daryl Armstrong can hit one of those for you.
He can hit the Derek. It was more than just hitting one of them. Derek Fisher made a number of timely shots.
Through 4 quarters, you relying on Derek Fisher to hit Man, listen, man.
Ain't nobody relying on him. It's just the fact that, we got a guy that's open that we can pass it to and he can make it.
I'm a Pistons fan, diehard.
Daryl Armstrong is not in the same category.
I'm a Pistons guy all day, and D-Wade was cooking us. It wasn't Antoine Walker. It wasn't Jason Williams. It wasn't Gary Payton. It wasn't Posey.
But you
it
know
wasn't
what those
Udonis.
guys bring to the table?
IQ.
They bring a distraction to the table.
IQ and veteran leadership.
They allow Dwayne Wade to go one-on-one with whoever you have.
But that's why I said what Conley's there for Ant-Man. That's why he needs other veterans there.
But that's why I said if you plug any other superstar in that same position, I feel like you get the same results. Because if you distracted, worried about him, and worried about him, and worried about him over there, and it's just me and you, mano y mano, yeah, I'm taking Allen Iverson.
So what happened with Allen Iverson with the Nuggets then? He had a lot of distractions over there.
He wasn't the guy. It was Melo's
There was a
team.
lot of distractions over there.
That was Melo's team. That's your boy. You need to ask him these questions. Why was you laying down on the court for how many possessions straight? What's up with you, fam? You need to ask him them questions. Those are questions for him. That was his team.
Because that George Karl, is he a trash coach to you?
You ask the players. They'll
You
say
have
you're a snake.
George Karl?
Ask the players. You got verification from Melo, Iggy, Boogie Cousins. They all came out and said this. Kenyon Martin. They all came out. You telling me all four of them wrong?
No, I ain't saying wrong. Okay, cool. So, all right, cool. Cool. George Karl's a snake confirmed. So, but with that roster on the, because that's Iverson's best squad, and Melo was upset when they traded him, mind you. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, so it was not like Melo was on some other stuff like, oh, he wanted him there. So you had Camby, right?
Marcus Camby.
K-Mark was over there, right?
Marcus Camby, K-Mark,
You had J.R. Smith, AI,
then you
Allen
had
Iverson.
Chris Anderson over there. I think Earl Boykins was coming off the bench.
That's one of the coldest rosters that you can have there. And
so
your man's Iverson was there.
Whose responsibility is it to carry the team to the promised land?
Wasn't Iverson in the finals?
Whose responsibility is it to carry the team to the promised land? Is it your number one option or is it your number two option?
So let me ask you a question. So you gonna concede that Allen Iverson's number 2 to Melo?
On that team, yes. That's Melo's team. Just like how LeBron was the number 2 to Dwayne Wade that first year.
But he
passed that thing off and look what happened next.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you're trying to get at here.
I'm just saying, man.
I don't know what you're trying to get at.
Iverson was surrounded by some elite talent.
As the number 2
Elite.
guy.
And then he went to Detroit. Was those guys not official?
They wasn't elite. They wasn't elite.
So
talent.
cats that won a championship wasn't elite. That's cool.
No.
That's cool.
It's called.
So we gonna act like Rasheed Wallace wasn't like that. Was Ben Wallace still there or was he gone? He was in Chicago at the time? Okay, so we had Sheed over there.
Chauncey wasn't there because that was part of the trade.
What, Rip, Chop Liver? Tayshaun was there still, wasn't he?
Ain't nobody calling Rip Chop Liver.
You know what I mean? Like,
but
Iverson
those guys function when they have the right players around him. When you talk about guys like Rip, system specific in order for him to be maximized. System specific. This is a guy that can't create his own shot. This is a guy whose defense is questionable. Not saying that he's a slouch, but he ain't like that. This is a guy that is the mid-range version of a Reggie Miller, or for the modern kids, he's a mid-range version of Steph Curry.
Well, he doesn't
run around screens, and I'm gonna pop this mid-range.
He doesn't like Reggie Miller like that.
I'm gonna pop that Udonis Haslem shot.
He don't like Reggie Miller like that, mind y'all. He think Reggie Miller is low-key trash on the low.
Don't listen to him. I did not say that.
You know what I'm saying? He don't like Reggie. If I mention Reggie, he don't like that guy. You know what I'm saying? Word. Like when I mention Reggie, like Reggie, he ain't do nothing. Like him.
Is this what you do? You start going to these tactics right here? I don't understand it. Don't believe it.
He don't like Reggie. You like Reggie? When I mention Reggie, you say he not elite.
I like Reggie. But when you want to compare him to the other threes, because he's a 3.
He's a 2. He's listed as a 2.
He's listed as a 3.
Where? Man, he's a 2 guard.
Even if you want to list him as a 2, that's even worse.
He not no 3 because he don't play defense. You gotta play defense as a 3.
Whichever way you want to look at it, you can name at least 5 at each position that's better than Reggie Miller.
Listen, man, look. At the end of the day,
you might be able to pull 10 if you think about it.
He said if you place Allen Iverson with that Miami Heat squad, they go into the championship and winning it.
Look,
Allen Iverson.
Look, who was a deadlier scorer? Let that be your answer.
Deadlier scorer?
Yes. Who was a deadlier scorer?
How many shots you need for this?
Shoot.
How many shots you need? And because Dwayne Wade making him at a higher clip.
Like I said before.
Because they both play the mid-range game. And then D Wade can drive better. Well, he could take the punishment more so.
Because he has a body for it? Is that what you're saying? He's a bigger guy?
Is that false? Just because you want to be a crash dummy, that don't make it smart.
No. At the end of the day.
Crashing out don't make it wise. You can crash out. You can slug with a slugger all day and lose. That don't make you smart. That just mean you got heart.
At the end,
because you got heart, that don't make you smart.
At the end of the day, Dwayne Wade did not do what Iverson did with nothing.
Is he not better than? So are you saying Allen Iverson's better than Dwayne Wade?
Yes, I'm saying that all day long, and I'm not thinking twice about it.
On the F&S. He said that
Allen
Iverson is better than D Wade.
I'm not thinking twice about it.
D Wade.
I'm not thinking twice about it. Dwayne Wade won when he was surrounded.
Mind you, this is biasness.
Listen, look.
This is biasness.
Dwayne Wade won when he was surrounded. Then he won when he.
Mind you, Allen Iverson was surrounded twice.
Who was the first time?
Nuggets.
No. When he was the guy. That's what you need to count it as.
So he moving goalposts around here.
I said that's the same thing.
He moving the goalposts. Nah, man. He moving the goalposts. He's moving the goalposts because Allen Iverson is his favorite player. It's cool.
No. I ain't moving no goalposts.
It's cool. He's moving the goalposts because Allen Iverson is his favorite player.
Listen.
One of the most inefficient shooters
Who was the
I've
number
ever
one option for that Denver team? Wasn't it your guy, Carmelo?
I mean, look.
So why didn't he win?
You just said
even when they made the switch to get Chauncey Billups, he still didn't get the job done. So why?
Listen.
What?
Yo,
what's going on here?
There's no shame in losing Kobe in them. There's no shame in that. No, it's not.
When you should have won, there's shame in that.
No, it's
when you should have won.
Listen,
there's shame
when you
in
play
that.
against greatness, it's a possibility you lose.
Oh, so you not great no more? What
Melo
happened
is
to your
great.
balls? Like,
Melo is my favorite player of all time, but I'm also not biased.
Listen, look.
He just said you need a point guard. Guess what he had? See, everything he's saying is proven. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you swap out Allen Iverson and you just replace that one dude. You know what I'm saying? And they go to Western Conference Finals.
Oh, but he still lost. Still lost.
Okay, you lost to Kobe in them.
Lost.
All right, cool.
He still lost.
You lost to LA. You lost to the Lakers. Kobe in them. That's
lost.
fine. Whatever. You know what I'm saying?
He still lost.
That was his first shot. That was his first time being there. That's not to say that he wouldn't have got that.
We not buying that.
Whatever.
We not buying that. As
Everybody
long
lost.
as he was in the league,
Everybody lost before. You don't win every game. Everybody lost before.
Listen.
Jokic and them just lost. He just ain't he the best player in the league? He just lost.
Look, at the end of the day,
You know what I'm saying?
At the end of the day, Melo didn't do something right. He didn't do something right a number of times. Ain't this the same dude that got blocked twice or a number of times by Roy Hibbert in the East? Like, everybody was talking all down on the East at that time. Then Melo come to the East and he couldn't even get out the first round?
Listen.
What's up with that?
We're talking about the Knicks?
Yeah. What's up with that?
I'm not knocking that.
What's up with that?
Melo got just as much success as Allen Iverson.
So, no, we don't. Because maybe the number one option.
Both our guys lost to the same dude.
No.
What is you saying?
No.
You lost to LA. I lost to LA.
No.
Just in a different round.
Iverson lost to Shaq and Kobe. To Shaq and
Is it
Kobe.
not LA?
To Shaq and Kobe.
Is it LA?
To Shaq and Kobe.
Is it the Lakers or not?
Carmelo lost to Andrew Bynum, Paul Gasol, and Kobe. While having Kenyon Martin and Chauncey
So
Billups.
wait a second.
While having
hold on.
them guys right there.
Hold on.
J.R. Smith still on that team?
Hold on.
Wasn't Earl Boykins still on
Can I ask
that
a question?
team?
Can I
Wasn't
ask a
Earl
question?
Boykins still on that team?
Can I ask a question?
Man, that dude had a loaded squad.
Let me ask you a question.
Couldn't
Let me ask you a question. You just said George Carl is a snake, so we're going to leave that over there.
Okay, so
But
when he was
let
on
me ask
the
you a
Knicks,
question.
when he was on the Knicks.
Is Kenyon Martin going to stop Paul Gasol? And I love Kenyon Martin. Is he going to stop Paul Gasol?
He doesn't need to stop him. Can he equalize that?
No.
Oh, man.
No.
So
What you saying about Paul Gasol, man?
I'm not
Is Paul
saying nothing
Gasol
about
not cold?
Paul Gasol's cold, but
He cold.
But last
He's
time I
better than
checked-
Kenyon Martin.
But last time
And I love Kenyon Martin.
But last time I checked, I thought Kenyon Martin was cold too.
He is, but he not no Paul Gasol.
It doesn't matter.
And then Lamar Odom. Hold on, wait.
Cold is cold.
Wasn't Lamar Odom? Now we
cold.
gonna let's
Cold is cold.
Let's delete any issues Lamar Odom have. Is Lamar Odom not cold?
Lamar Odom got skills. Everybody
He's
knows
cold.
that.
All right then. You
Everybody
know
knows
what I'm
that he got
saying?
skills.
So who's exactly stopping Lamar Odom? The dude 6'9", arms down to his knees, can dribble, drive, shoot, everything.
Was
Like,
he
you know
the
what I mean?
deciding factor in that?
I'm just asking a question.
I'm asking you the question.
I'm asking you a question.
Was he
Now,
the deciding factor in that?
He doesn't have to be, but he was a key factor. Bynum.
Nice way to Euro step and say no.
Is Bynum trash to you?
Nice
Now,
way to Euro
when
step and
Bynum
say
was for
no.
LA, was he trash? Yes, he had issues, but was he trash?
He had 2 good years.
Those the championship years, wasn't it? So was he trash at that time? Because you like to say at this time. Like with Brunson, this year.
Yep.
So those years, was he trash?
No, he wasn't.
All right then. So therefore he was over there.
But you don't think that Marcus Camby could have done something with that?
Is Marcus Camby a defender? All right then. So therefore, look
Marcus
here.
Camby is a defender.
Is he?
That's what he brings to
How
the table.
skinny is he compared to Bynum? Because Bynum did play an actual big man role and posted down there, and Marcus Camby was kind of thin. So
That's fine.
we talking physicality. What we doing there?
Okay, so where does Melo come in this picture? Where does his impact come in this picture?
Melo getting off on everybody. It don't matter. Look, he handled his business. They went to the Western Conference Finals and lost. That's what happened when elites play elite. Somebody got to lose, and Melo happened to lose that time. But I'm not gonna take nothing away from Melo.
Explain the East.
The Knicks, I had no faith in that team. No faith. I ain't never. Well, I didn't know you at the time, but I never would have told you the Knicks was going to the finals. I would never said that.
But wouldn't you think that they was gonna get out the first round?
Who they face?
The Pacers.
The Pacers, and that was who?
That was Lance Stevenson, Paul George, David West, Roy Hibbert.
They had a better team.
Then
They was-
Tyson Chandler.
Wasn't that Vogel in them?
Yes.
Coach better than everything. We're not gonna do that. Why are
Mike
you even
Woodson.
playing? Why are you playing these games?
Mike Woodson.
Are you serious?
Mike Woodson.
So Mike Woodson better than Vogel?
He can get with him
Come on, man. Like
with a squad.
that team.
I mean,
the
had
Pacers-
Carmelo Anthony would have decided to pull up for a mid-range instead of trying to dunk on people.
Listen, I'm not about to listen. This is the thing. I don't absolve my favorite players. Melo has flaws. That's my guy though. He has flaws though. I have no problem admitting that. You know what I'm saying? But the Pacers was a better team overall than the Knicks. Overall.
Yeah, but you know, you have these certain superstar players that have these.
Superstars can't just beat teams.
Well, sometimes they did, you know, because
Oh, man.
there is a guy named LeBron that totally dismantled the Pistons.
How often does this happen?
He totally
Oh.
dismantled the Celtics, and everybody was like, you know, on this thing for a period of time. Like Melo.
He mentioned
better
one
than
guy.
LeBron. So you know, this,
Melo is offensively better than LeBron James. He's not a better basketball player. Offensively,
And
he's
we
a
need
better.
to clarify that when we say offensively.
He's not
We
a better-
mean scorer. We
Oh,
mean
look.
scorer.
Listen,
because
man.
offensively
Listen,
contributes to other
listen,
things
man.
than just scoring.
Listen, dog. Like, let me tell you something. Like, yes, LeBron has an IQ with getting dudes involved, but he does not play offense better than Carmelo Anthony. He doesn't.
I don't know.
He don't.
Bron
He don't
always-
drive better.
Bron-
He don't shoot better.
Bron
He don't
always-
post better.
Bron always carried a heavier responsibility.
He does not play offense better. Okay? He don't drive better. He don't shoot better. He don't dribble better. He don't do it. Look, at the end of the day, his IQ, he gets other people involved, but he played a point. He played a certain position better. But he, as far as getting a bucket, no.
So he's like Professor X.
I've never disrespected Bron's game. I love his game. But I told you already, and I will die on this. I will take Carmelo over everybody. Just how I will build my team. I don't care who you sit in front of me.
That's cool. That's cool.
Because I know I can roll with Melo. Point blank. I'm going to just build my team correctly.
Well,
it's 1,000 ways to skin a cat, man.
You
Like,
right.
you know what I'm saying?
You
So,
right. But based
I don't,
on but based
just
on
like you like Allen Iverson.
based
you know?
on their careers, my guy can take me to the finals. Your guy, he's gonna come up short of the finals. So I like my chances. I like and not only will he take him to the finals, he'll take him to the finals with a much less talented squad. So
But he forgot to mention he had Larry Brown, all-time great coach. Cool.
that's fine.
Cool.
That is all
Cool.
fine.
You know, coaches, see, he keep playing with these arguments. He just said that the coaches need the players need the coaches.
You're right.
But George Carl's a snake, so Carmelo had a snake with him. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But he
are you
had
kidding
Mike
me?
Woodson too.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Mike Woodson is cool.
Mike
He
Woodson
cool.
is a good coach.
But he not in the classes of Larry Brown. You gonna say Mike Woodson, Larry Brown?
I'm not saying that Mike
All
Woodson
right
is Larry
then.
Brown.
He's not Larry Brown. And I haven't heard no snake stuff like George Carl, so he's not a snake either.
But I haven't heard no snake stuff about Woodson either.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's not a, so, but then again, when Melo was over in New York, I mean, they was cool. They was cool.
I don't know.
They wasn't beating no Pacers. Not no prime Paul George. Then you had Danny Granger over there, right? You was
he
big
that
on Danny
team?
Granger, wasn't you?
I like Danny.
Know what I'm saying?
I like
Roy
Danny
Hibbert
Granger,
underrated. They like to play Roy Hibbert because he actually plays like a center.
but if
He plays the center position. Then you had Jamal Tinsley over there. We gonna say Jamal Tinsley light?
no, I'm not gonna say Jamal Tinsley light, but I will say when I compare them two teams, because not only did Melo get Chauncey Billups in Denver, but Melo had Chauncey
That's
Billups
after the torn
in
Achilles?
New York too, and then if I remember it correctly, Tyson Chandler was your man's, wasn't he? Tyson
I
Chandler
never said
the
that was my
center.
man. He was cool.
Tyson Chandler was the center over there. They still had Stat, even though Stat was like
Stat with the bad knees stat. Okay, cool.
but he was still getting busy. I mean, bad knee Stat is better than David West. Bad knee Stat is better than David West. So I don't know which angle you want to talk about this.
Listen, the Pacers a better team. They had a better coach. All that. It's what it was.
But-
they didn't get as far as they got for no reason.
But at some point in time, the superstar has to take over the game and be the superstar.
Listen, I'm not
So-
disagreeing with you.
so-
Allen Iverson had one successful season.
One is better than none.
You know what I'm saying?
One is better than
Going
none.
to the Western Conference Finals, successful season. That's successful. And Edwards, successful season. You the last 14 standing is a successful season, dog. That's a failure.
No, it's not a failure.
All
but
right,
it's-
then.
But it's not.
Neither one of them got championships on their hand.
No.
All right, then.
No, but we can point to more obvious reasons as to why Iverson don't and Melo don't. Melo had Iverson as a second guy.
The same argument he's having, Allen Iverson was given cold squads too.
With who?
Denver was an all-star team.
No. Don't be coming at me with this.
Denver
second.
was an all-star team.
No. Iverson.
The Pistons,
that team was not built around
the Pistons
Iverson.
was still official at that time. They had talent that Iverson could work with.
No.
All right?
The Pistons wanted Allen Iverson to come off the bench. That was the real problem here. And if I'm Allen Iverson, I ain't taking the back seat to no Rip Hamilton either.
Who's the champion here?
That's fine. Who is the most respected amongst the peers?
I don't hear anybody talking bad about Richard Hamilton. I heard guarding Richard Hamilton's a headache. Trying to guard him, you know what I'm saying? Chasing him around is a headache.
Okay, if guarding Rip Hamilton is a headache,
who would you rather guard, Allen Iverson or Richard Hamilton?
I would rather guard Rip.
Getting chased around, running through screens all day?
I would rather do that because at least then I know that this player can only succeed if he has help from the other 4 teammates to get him over.
You still got to guard him, dog.
That's fine.
And you still got to run through screens.
That's fine. Because I'm going to pull out all the veteran tricks that they do. I'm going to jab you in your ribs when I'm coming by you. You know, all them little veteran tricks is coming out. Because if it's going to take your whole team to help you get open, for you to get off, versus me and this guy, mano y mano, and I can't stay in front of him, I can live with fighting through your whole squad because they recognize that you need that much help.
There's a such thing as fatigue, and you will get tired.
That's all right. That's where that old school basketball comes out. I'm gonna start clotheslining cats. I'm gonna start doing everything that the 80s and the 90s allowed.
He said he gonna get ejected guarding Richard Hamilton.
That's all right.
All right, cool.
Look, that's all right. That's all right. Skin and bones will break. Skin and bones will break.
Well, I mean, you know, it is what it. Hey, look, we veered off. It's fine. That's what we do.
We definitely veered off.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he finna get hemmed up. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? He finna get hemmed up. So we gon' close this out. You know what I mean?
We need to close this out on topic. Frank Vogel did not deserve to get fired.
Nope.
JB Bickerstaff did not deserve to get fired.
Nope.
Darvin Ham, I don't feel sorry for you, but I hope you get another job.
He should get the Hornets job or something. I wouldn't mind bringing him in Detroit.
And Monty Williams, we hope to hear of your departure soon.
Yep. Get your money, go retire, heal.
But because you made it to the finals, if you stay, we will understand why.
No, I don't understand why. I don't at all. Like, I don't understand nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand anything.
You know what getting to the finals looks like.
No, he with Chris Paul.
And so you can see if you got the elements of that on this team.
No.
Should Detroit keep Cade Cunningham and invest in him and be built?
I give him one more year. I'll be looking at him with the side eye, but I give him one more year to see what's up.
And is James Wiseman? Is it worth?
Yes.
Matching his offer sheet? Because are you gonna give him the minutes?
Yes. When he plays, he's productive. When he plays, he's productive. You gotta give the guy a chance, man. Gotta give him a chance. Like, you don't let somebody go like that. Just let him go. Like, the Warriors did, but they had different circumstance. We don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can.
No.
The Warriors are impatient. Like, they championship or bust type stuff. The Pistons, we building. So we got. Look, I'm not getting rid of Wiseman, bro. I don't want to get rid of Durant either. But if they talking about the Ingram thing, I mean, I'll get rid of Ivy, like you said. I mean, because we could do without Ivy if we get Ingram. But I'm keeping the other guys, though. So, I don't
Monty, we hope to hear about your departures.
Please. And go ahead and relax. Go on vacation. Go on cruises. Out the country. You're going to get your money. You know what I'm saying? So, you're going to be good, man. And I hope you heal up the things you're going through personally, man. You know what I mean? Word up. All right, man. We out of here.
Peace.
All right.
F&S, the attention is to be the best. Not just sports, every box we check. Whatever topic we address. No such thing as putting us to the test. We not compromise. Guess you could say we selfish in that sense. What's your top 10? We break it down to